continuation of this, we are today we are going to talk about the pH of salts. In the last worksheet also we have talked about the pH. So in this we'll talk about the some specific salt also, which are very important. That means we are going to the third phase of this chapter, that is salts. Now when we say pH of salts, the pH of salts, as we have studied in the previous worksheets, that it completely depend on the reactants. That means if you take the example of the first equation which is given in this, that means if a strong acid is combining with a strong base, what we are going to get? We are going to get a neutral salt. Neutral salt means it is going to be having pH equals to 7. As we have read in the pH scale, that if the pH is from 0 to 7, it will be called as acidic. If the pH is from 7 to 14, it will be called as basic. But if it is having pH 7, that means it will be neutral. Second case, we are having strong acid but we are having weak base, that is ammonium hydroxide. Now here the strong acid is there. That means, as we have read, that if any of the reactant in the reaction is strong, then the pH will be on that reactant side. So if we are having a strong acid, then the pH will be below 7, because the effect of the acid will be higher. So we will be getting an acidic salt, not the neutral salt. Ammonium chloride will get, and the pH of this ammonium chloride, it will be below 7. That means if we have been given an ammonium chloride and a litmus paper, and it will be asked that what color of the litmus paper this particular salt will change, you have to remember that ammonium chloride is having a strong HCl, so it will be changing blue to red. So this you have to keep in mind. Third case is we are having a strong base, that is sodium hydroxide, and the weak acid is carbonic acid. So here the strong base is there, so the pH will be above 7. That means on the basic side. So again, this sodium carbonate which will get basic salt, it will show the red to blue litmus coloration change. So this you have to keep in mind, that the pH of a salt depends on the reactant. Higher the acidic condition, then the pH of the salt will be acidic. Stronger will be the base, the pH will be basic. Now we come to the salt. First salt is, which we commonly use, is rock salt. So what is rock salt? Salt in its natural form as a crystalline mineral is known as rock salt. As you have heard also, why it is called rock salt? Because it is obtained from the rock. That's why it is called rock salt. These are some of the chemicals which we are getting from this rock salt. Rock salt here means sodium chloride, but actually it is also having some impurities. It is not pure form. So these are the different chemicals which we can get from the rock salt. Sodium hydroxide we can get. Bleaching powder we will read in the next worksheet, that is calcium oxychloride, also known as baking soda. Sodium hydrogen carbonate, we have read the reactions in the previous worksheet. Washing soda, sodium carbonate, and 10 molecules of water. This you have to remember, that whenever the formula of washing soda is asked, you have to write this 10 molecules of water in that. Then only it will be called as the formula of washing soda, otherwise not. Then it will be a simple salt, that is sodium carbonate. And the last one is the plaster of Paris. All these salts we will read in the next worksheet in the coming week. Calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Why it is called hemihydrate? Because it is having the half molecule of water. So the preparation of sodium hydroxide will start in this worksheet. What is the preparation of sodium hydroxide? Because it is very important. Actually we are getting this sodium hydroxide from the rock salt. So we have to see that how the sodium hydroxide is obtained from the NaCl. If we make an aqueous solution of NaCl, it is known as brine. This you have to remember. It is very important. Aqueous solution of NaCl means that we are adding NaCl plus water. It's simple. This solution is known as brine, aqueous solution. And when NaOH is written, this NaCl, in the bracket you will write AQ, that means the aqueous solution. And on the decomposition of this NaCl, when electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of NaCl, so it will decompose to NaOH. So this NaOH decomposition is complete process. This equation is known as chloroalkali process. Why it is called chloroalkali process? Because we are getting chlorine along with a base, and the base NaOH is a strong base which is also known as alkali. In the previous worksheet we have read, because it is completely soluble in water, or you can say complete dissociation of sodium hydroxide takes place. That's why it is called alkali. So how this reaction is taking place? Generally what is done, this aqueous solution is taken a beaker and two electrodes are there. One is known as cathode and the another is known as anode. So anode, as you know, will be the positive charge and cathode will be the negative charge. Then what we have to do, we have to pass the current, and after some time you will see that we have connected this to a battery, and this is negative, this is positive. So this is, we are having your aqueous solution of sodium chloride. I am writing AQ. So when we pass the current, after some time we will see that inverted glass tube we can also place, so that we can see the collection of gases. At anode this chlorine gas will be assembled, because anode is having positive charge and cathode is having negative. So anode is positive, so chlorine having negative charge will be attracted towards the anode, and cathode, because hydrogen gas, it can act, hydrogen atom, you must be knowing that it can act as both electropositive and electronegative, but here chlorine is more electronegative, so it will take first place at anode. That's why cathode will be assembled at the hydrogen gas will be assembled at the cathode, which is having the negative charge, and this is your anode, positive charge. So at cathode this sodium hydroxide solution will be formed. This you have to remember, that along with the gases released, at anode you are getting chlorine gas, at cathode you are getting hydrogen gas, and along with these gases the formation of main sodium hydroxide is taking place at cathode. Now the different uses of these different substances which we are getting through this chloroalkali process: hydrogen, you must be knowing, rocket fuel it is also known as, margarine, it is artificial butter, chlorine, water treatment, PVC, polyvinyl chloride pipes, and CFC, chlorofluorocarbons. So all these are the uses. HCl as a cleansing steels, medicines, sodium hydroxide, degreasing metals, soaps, and paper making. So these all the uses you have to remember, and it is a very important that sometimes in the exam the uses of chlorine asked, sometimes in the hydrogen or like that. Now how this bleaching powder is made, a bleach fabric is done, that chlorine gas along with sodium hydroxide is known as bleach. Household bleaches, bleaching fabrics in the industries, textile industry, it is used at a large scale. Now we come to the question answers. This is also the uses. It is the same table which is shown in your NCERT. Same, it has been shown in this tablic form. So what is chloroalkali process? If we talk of a chloroalkali process, you have to write from this yellow box. The answer of this is in the yellow box. This chloroalkali process is the decomposition of what? It is the decomposition of the aqueous solution of sodium chloride, or you can say when the electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of sodium chloride, it decomposes to form sodium hydroxide, and this is known as chloroalkali process. So the answer of this one is this: when electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of sodium chloride, it decomposes to form sodium hydroxide, and this is called chlorine. Why is it called so? So in this, why it is called so, you can take the example of this equation. You have to write it is called so because in the product side we are getting sodium hydroxide and chlorine gas. So this sodium hydroxide is also known as what? Alkali. So that's why it is called chloroalkali process. Okay. Next question is, what is brine? So it is simple. You can write in one line. Brine is aqueous solution of sodium chloride. Third question, which gas is liberated at anode during chloroalkali process? Give any two uses. At anode, you have to remember that is chlorine gas. It is liberated at anode, and you have to write two uses: for the water treatment, for the making of PVC pipes and chlorofluorocarbon. Okay, and you can get the uses here also: disinfectant, CFCs, pesticides, so many are there, swimming pools, etc. These all are the uses of chlorine. Fourth question is, name the chemical used in soap and paper making. Write its chemical formula also. Now, paper making and soaps and paper making, which chemical is used? Sodium hydroxide. Okay, and write its chemical formula. That means you have to write NaOH. You have to write sodium hydroxide and you have to write NaOH. Then write any two uses of hydrogen gas and hydrochloric acid. So when we say two uses of hydrogen gas or hydrochloric acid, it is given in this. Hydrogen gas is used as fuels, artificial butter, and HCl is used as cleansing steels and medicines. So these are the two uses of